Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and wondered, where did all my money go? The truth is, most of us are not poor because we don't earn enough, but because we fail to manage what we already have. Today, I want to show you that saving 500 in just 1 month is not a dream. It is a reality, and it begins with your mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, awareness of spending is the cornerstone of financial success, yet it is a principle so often overlooked. Many people go through life earning money without ever truly understanding where it goes. They assume that because they have a certain amount in their account, they are managing their finances well. But this assumption is a dangerous illusion. Awareness of spending begins with the simple act of observing your financial habits honestly and without judgment. It means looking at every euro you spend, every transaction you make, and every impulse purchase you justify as necessary. Awareness is the act of bringing to light what has long remained in the shadows, because you cannot fix what you refuse to see. Every euro has a story, and every story reveals patterns. When you become aware of your spending, you start to see where your money leaks are, whether it is the small daily coffees, the takeaways, subscriptions you no longer use, or impulsive shopping sprees. These may seem trivial individually, but collectively, they form a silent drain on your resources. It is in these small, unnoticed expenses that your financial freedom is often quietly being undermined. Being aware of spending is not about guilt, it is about knowledge. Knowledge empowers you to make conscious choices rather than reactive ones. When you track every euro, you gain clarity and insight. You begin to distinguish between needs and wants, between necessary expenses and indulgences. This process requires honesty and discipline because it is tempting to ignore small leaks, thinking they won't matter in the larger scheme. But the truth is, they do. Every euro you spend without awareness diminishes your control over your financial future. Awareness transforms money from being a source of stress and confusion into a tool of empowerment. It allows you to plan strategically, allocate resources efficiently, and align your spending with your goals. Without awareness, you are at the mercy of habits, social pressures, and fleeting desires, and your financial decisions are made in the dark rather than with intention. When you develop awareness of spending, you also develop a sense of responsibility. You take ownership of your financial life, acknowledging that every choice has consequences. It is easy to blame circumstances, unexpected bills, or even a low income for financial difficulties. But awareness teaches you that the first step toward change is within your control. Every purchase is a decision, and every decision can either move you closer to your financial goals or pull you further away. Awareness allows you to recognize patterns, to see the triggers that lead to unnecessary spending, and to adjust your behavior accordingly. It gives you the ability to intervene before small leaks become significant losses. Furthermore, awareness of spending fosters mindfulness. When you are aware, you approach your finances deliberately. You ask yourself questions before making purchases. Do I really need this? Will this choice benefit me in the long term? How does this expense align with my financial goals? These questions cultivate a mindset that prioritizes purpose over impulse. You begin to understand that money is not just a means to immediate satisfaction, but a tool for building freedom, opportunity, and security. Awareness empowers you to make choices that reflect your values and long-term vision rather than the temporary desires of the moment. As awareness deepens, you gain clarity about your financial priorities. You identify which areas of spending are aligned with your purpose and which are not. You begin to redirect resources from trivial expenditures to meaningful investments in your future. This practice transforms your relationship with money from one of anxiety and scarcity to one of control and abundance. Each euro you track becomes a declaration of intent, a conscious decision that strengthens your financial foundation and moves you toward independence. Awareness of spending is not a one-time act. It is a continual practice, a daily habit that requires vigilance and commitment, because financial freedom is built incrementally, one informed decision at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, choosing purpose over pleasure is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in your financial life. Yet, it is a principle that many struggle to embrace. Human nature often drives us toward immediate gratification, the fleeting sense of satisfaction that comes from indulgence, comfort, or entertainment. It is easy to justify small pleasures with statements like, "I've worked hard, I deserve this," or "It's just a little treat." These thoughts are natural, but when repeated consistently, they can quietly erode your financial stability and delay your progress toward long-term goals. Purpose over pleasure is about seeing beyond the moment, about prioritizing what truly matters in the long run, rather than what feels good in the short term. It is a mindset that separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. Because while pleasure provides temporary comfort, purpose builds lasting impact, security, and freedom. When you place purpose above pleasure, every financial decision becomes intentional. You begin to ask yourself, will this choice bring me closer to the life I desire, or will it distract me from it? This simple question has the power to transform ordinary spending habits into extraordinary steps toward financial empowerment. Small indulgences, such as daily coffee runs, unplanned dining out, or impulse shopping, may seem harmless, but when examined through the lens of purpose, they represent a diversion from your financial goals. Prioritizing purpose requires discipline and a clear vision of what you want to achieve. It demands that you weigh short-term satisfaction against long-term achievement and make choices that serve your greater objective, even when they require temporary restraint. Purpose over pleasure also teaches delayed gratification, one of the most important skills for building wealth. The ability to postpone immediate rewards in favor of larger, more meaningful gains is what separates successful individuals from those who struggle financially. Delayed gratification is not deprivation, it is empowerment. By choosing purpose, you tell yourself that your future matters more than your present impulses. Every euro you save instead of spending on unnecessary pleasures is a step toward freedom, security, and opportunity. Each decision to prioritize purpose strengthens your self-discipline, builds resilience, and trains your mind to focus on what truly matters. Furthermore, prioritizing purpose over pleasure reshapes your values and mindset. It transforms money from a tool for instant satisfaction into a vehicle for achieving your life goals. It changes how you view consumption, teaching you that spending is not inherently wrong, but it must be aligned with intention. When pleasure takes precedence, money slips through your fingers unnoticed. When purpose leads, every euro is accounted for and contributes to your vision. You begin to see that wealth is not measured by how much you earn or how much you can spend, but by how strategically you allocate your resources to build a meaningful and secure future. This principle also cultivates a sense of freedom. Ironically, by restraining your impulses today, you gain the freedom to live more fully tomorrow. Purpose over pleasure allows you to invest in opportunities, save for important milestones, and create a financial buffer that protects you from life's uncertainties. It builds confidence because you know that your actions are deliberate, not reactionary, and that you are in control of your financial destiny. Each intentional decision reinforces the belief that your life is guided by vision rather than by the whims of temporary desire. Moreover, when you consistently choose purpose over pleasure, you develop a habit of conscious living that extends beyond finances. Your relationships, career, and personal growth all benefit from this mindset. You become a person who evaluates choices based on long-term value rather than immediate comfort. Someone who builds legacy rather than fleeting enjoyment, and someone who understands that true fulfillment comes not from indulgence, but from meaningful achievement and alignment with your purpose. This approach transforms not only your financial situation but also your character, instilling discipline, patience, and clarity in every area of life, reinforcing the understanding that every choice matters, and every action either moves you toward or away from your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, discipline and consistency are the twin pillars upon which financial success and personal growth are built. Many people dream of wealth, freedom, and stability, but they fail to recognize that these are not achieved through luck, chance, or sporadic effort. They are the results of repeated, disciplined actions over time. Discipline is the ability to do what must be done, even when you do not feel like doing it, while consistency is the commitment to maintain those actions day after day, week after week, and month after month. Without discipline, even the best financial plans fall apart, and without consistency, the smallest effort loses its power. Together, they create momentum, turning small, intentional choices into extraordinary results. Discipline begins in the mind. It starts with the decision to take control of your actions and resist the temptation of instant gratification. Human beings are naturally drawn to pleasure, ease, and comfort. But discipline requires the courage to delay indulgence for the sake of long-term goals. Every time you choose to save €1, instead of spending it impulsively, you exercise discipline. Every time you stick to a budget or make a conscious choice to prioritize your financial goals over temporary desires, you are strengthening your self-control. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It is about empowerment. It is the recognition that your actions today determine your future outcomes, and that every small act of restraint compounds into significant achievements over time. Consistency is the engine that drives the results of discipline. It is not enough to practice self-control occasionally or sporadically. You must apply it consistently to create lasting change. Consistency turns actions into habits, and habits into results. For instance, saving a small amount of money daily or weekly may seem insignificant, but when done consistently, it can accumulate into hundreds or even thousands of euros over time. The power of consistency lies in its ability to multiply the impact of your efforts. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes because success is rarely a product of a single heroic effort. It is the result of repeated, purposeful actions performed without fail. Together, discipline and consistency create a framework for financial mastery. Discipline ensures that your actions are aligned with your goals, while consistency ensures that these actions are sustained over time. Without discipline, consistency is empty, and without consistency, discipline is wasted. It is like planting a seed. Discipline is the act of planting it in fertile soil, and consistency is the act of watering and nurturing it day after day. Only through this combination can growth occur, and only then can the fruit of your labor be harvested. Discipline and consistency also foster resilience and confidence. When you commit to managing your finances with discipline and maintain consistency, you gain control over your money and ultimately your life. You stop reacting to circumstances and start making proactive choices. This mindset empowers you to navigate challenges without panic because you have built habits that support your long-term vision. Every disciplined choice reinforces the belief that you are capable, responsible, and capable of achieving your goals. Moreover, discipline and consistency cultivate a sense of integrity and self-respect. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted, that your word and actions align, and that you are serious about your future. This principle extends beyond money. It shapes your character, your relationships, and your entire approach to life. It is the foundation of excellence, because excellence is never accidental. It is the product of intentional, disciplined effort applied consistently over time, and it is through this daily dedication that ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. The truth is, discipline and consistency are not easy, and they are not glamorous, but they are non-negotiable for anyone who desires lasting success. They require patience, self-awareness, and the courage to prioritize long-term gain over immediate comfort, and they teach a profound lesson. That success is a journey built step by step, choice by choice, and day by day, until every small action compounds into a life of achievement and abundance. Ladies and gentlemen, redirecting your savings is one of the most transformative steps you can take toward achieving financial freedom. Yet it is a principle often misunderstood or neglected. Saving money alone is not enough. Many people manage to set aside small amounts each month, but fail to give those savings purpose, leaving them stagnant in an ordinary account, or worse, spending them impulsively when temptation arises. Redirecting savings is the act of intentionally channeling the money you save toward opportunities that grow your wealth, secure your future, and empower your life. It is not merely putting money aside, it is giving your finances direction, strategy, and meaning. Every euro saved is a seed, but a seed must be planted in fertile soil to bear fruit. To leave it idle is to waste its potential. When you redirect your savings, you transform passive accumulation into active progress. Instead of letting money sit in an account earning minimal interest or sitting idle in cash, you strategically allocate it to areas that generate growth or strengthen your security. This could mean contributing to an emergency fund, investing in a retirement plan, purchasing assets that appreciate in value, or even funding your personal development through education and skills enhancement. Each of these actions turns your savings into a tool, a deliberate mechanism that works for you rather than sitting dormant. Redirecting savings ensures that your money is not just preserved, but multiplied, and it instills a sense of purpose in every euro you manage. Moreover, redirecting your savings requires intentionality and planning. It is not enough to simply decide to save. You must determine where that money will go and how it will serve your long-term goals. This involves evaluating your priorities and understanding the opportunities available to you. You ask yourself important questions. Will this money grow if I invest it wisely? Will it provide security in times of need? Will it help me achieve the life I envision? By answering these questions, you take control of your financial destiny, shifting from reactive spending to proactive wealth creation. The act of redirecting is a declaration that your money has a mission and that your choices are aligned with your purpose. Redirecting savings also reinforces discipline and builds momentum. When you commit to moving money into strategic avenues, you create a structured financial habit that reduces the likelihood of impulsive spending. Your savings are no longer vulnerable to distraction or temptation because they have been assigned a clear role. This not only protects your resources, but also cultivates a mindset of intentionality and foresight. Each transfer, each allocation, is an exercise in self-control and a statement of commitment to your future. Over time, the small, deliberate redirections compound into significant financial advantages, demonstrating the power of foresight and strategic action. Another profound benefit of redirecting savings is that it changes your relationship with money. It shifts your perspective from viewing money as something to be spent immediately to seeing it as a tool for building security, opportunity, and freedom. Each euro you redirect becomes an instrument of empowerment, reinforcing the idea that wealth is created not merely by earning, but by how intelligently you manage and deploy what you already have. This mindset creates confidence and reduces anxiety, because you know that every choice you make is purposeful and aligned with your larger goals. Furthermore, redirecting savings cultivates a habit of foresight and long-term thinking. It encourages you to plan for the unexpected, invest in growth, and align your actions with the life you aspire to live. It teaches patience, because the benefits of strategic allocation often take time to manifest. But the results are lasting and transformative. By consistently redirecting savings, you create a cycle of growth where your money works for you, multiplying its impact and moving you steadily closer to financial independence. Ultimately, redirecting your savings is about taking ownership of your financial journey. It transforms passive saving into active wealth creation and ensures that every euro you put aside contributes meaningfully to your future. It is an essential practice for anyone who desires not only to protect their resources, but to use them strategically, build momentum, and achieve the life they have envisioned. And it serves as a powerful reminder that money, when directed with intention, is a vehicle for empowerment, growth, and freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, understanding money as a tool is one of the most powerful perspectives you can adopt on your journey to financial freedom and personal growth. Too many people view money as an end in itself, something to be accumulated, spent, or admired, without recognizing its true purpose as a vehicle for opportunity, influence, and empowerment. Money in its essence is a tool, a means to an end, not the end itself. It is not wealth, happiness, or success, but it has the power to create all three when used wisely. When you shift your perspective and begin to see money as a tool, your relationship with it transforms, and you begin to make choices that align with your values, goals, and long-term vision. Money as a tool requires intentionality. It is not something to be hoarded aimlessly or spent impulsively. Each euro you earn carries potential, and how you choose to deploy it determines the impact it will have on your life. Just as a carpenter's hammer is useless if left in the toolbox, Money is powerless if it is not used purposefully. Every transaction, every investment, and every decision involving money should reflect deliberate thought and strategy. This mindset elevates your financial actions from mere survival or indulgence to purposeful steps that construct a foundation for independence, security, and growth. When you treat money as a tool, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You understand that money is not simply for consumption, but for creation. It can be invested to generate more wealth, allocated to education to expand your skills, or used to support ventures that align with your vision. Each euro becomes a lever, amplifying your ability to achieve your goals and impact the world around you. This approach shifts your focus from immediate gratification to strategic empowerment, recognizing that money is most effective when it is deployed with foresight and discipline, rather than squandered in pursuit of fleeting pleasures. Viewing money as a tool also fosters a mindset of control and responsibility. Instead of allowing money to dictate your life, you dictate how money works for you. You plan, budget, and allocate resources in alignment with your priorities. This perspective reduces anxiety because it transforms money from a source of stress into a mechanism for problem solving and opportunity creation. You understand that while you cannot control every circumstance, you can control how you use your financial resources to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and secure your future. Moreover, money as a tool teaches patience and long-term thinking. Tools are only effective when used skillfully and consistently. Similarly, money grows and multiplies when deployed strategically over time. Instant gratification may feel rewarding in the moment, but it rarely builds lasting wealth or security. When you adopt the mindset of money as a tool, you prioritize investments, savings, and purposeful spending that compound over time, allowing your resources to generate more resources and create a cycle of growth and opportunity. This perspective also changes the way you measure success. Money is no longer the ultimate goal, but a means to achieve meaningful objectives, whether that is financial independence, freedom to pursue your passions, the ability to support your family, or making a positive impact on your community. It becomes a resource to serve your vision, a mechanism to turn ideas into reality, and a pathway to influence and empowerment. By understanding money as a tool, you elevate your actions from mere transactions to strategic steps toward a life of purpose and abundance. Ultimately, seeing money as a tool empowers you to take control of your financial destiny. It encourages you to act with intention, deploy resources wisely, and focus on long-term impact rather than temporary pleasure. It transforms your relationship with wealth from one of scarcity, stress, or obsession into one of strategy, empowerment, and possibility. And it reminds you that when money is used correctly, it becomes a catalyst for growth, freedom, and achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, empowerment through control is a principle that separates those who live reactively from those who live intentionally and successfully. True empowerment does not come from luck, chance, or external circumstances. It comes from the ability to take control of your life, your decisions, and your resources. In the context of money, empowerment is the confidence and freedom that arise when you master your finances rather than being mastered by them. It is the understanding that financial independence is not merely about how much you earn, but about how effectively you manage, direct, and utilize the resources available to you. Control over your finances translates directly into control over your life, your choices, and your future. When you gain control over your money, you no longer live under the weight of uncertainty or fear. You develop a sense of stability and security that allows you to think clearly, plan strategically, and act decisively. Financial control provides options. It opens doors rather than closing them. You are able to respond to emergencies without panic, invest in opportunities without hesitation, and make choices that align with your purpose rather than succumbing to immediate pressures or societal expectations. Empowerment through control is not about restriction, it is about liberation. It frees you from the chains of debt, impulsive spending, and financial mismanagement, allowing you to channel your energy toward growth, achievement, and meaningful action. Control begins with awareness and responsibility. You cannot manage what you do not understand, and you cannot take control of what you refuse to acknowledge. By tracking your income, monitoring your expenses, and understanding your financial patterns, you create a foundation of knowledge that empowers every subsequent decision. This awareness transforms money from a source of stress into a tool of influence. It allows you to see the opportunities hidden within challenges and equips you to make deliberate choices that build wealth, security, and freedom over time. Moreover, empowerment through control strengthens confidence. When you know exactly where your money is going, why it is being used, and how it contributes to your goals, you gain assurance in your decision making. This confidence extends beyond finances. It permeates every area of life. You begin to make choices with clarity rather than confusion, take calculated risks with preparation rather than recklessness, and act with authority rather than hesitation. Control transforms indecision into decisive action, fear into confidence, and limitation into possibility. Control over your finances also fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges will arise, but those who have mastered their resources are equipped to face adversity with composure and creativity. They can pivot, adapt, and find solutions because their foundation is secure. Empowerment through control is a shield against chaos. It provides a stable platform from which to navigate uncertainty and seize opportunity. It teaches patience, discipline, and foresight, all of which are essential for building lasting success and sustaining freedom over time. Furthermore, empowerment through control instills a mindset of ownership. You no longer attribute your circumstances to luck, other people, or external forces. Instead, you recognize that your outcomes are the result of your choices and actions. This mindset fosters accountability, strengthens character, and encourages proactive behavior. By taking full responsibility for your financial life, you cultivate the habits, strategies, and decisions that lead to sustained success. Ultimately, empowerment through control is about freedom, the freedom to live life on your terms, make choices aligned with your vision, and pursue opportunities without constraint. It transforms money from a source of stress or limitation into a strategic instrument that amplifies your potential. By mastering control over your finances, you gain the ability to master your destiny, create security for yourself and those you love, and approach life with the confidence and clarity that only true empowerment can bring.